How's it going, Guardians? Shifty here, and today I'm back with another Legend Lost Sector guide. In this one, I'm going to be covering the Extraction Lost Sector in the Throne World. This one is a bit on the longer side, but I still wanted to make a video just so I would have a guide up on my channel. Some people can't play every day, and this one might come up when people are able to farm for one of the new exotics. Now for the Extraction Legend Lost Sector, we have Overload and Unstoppable champions. It has Arc Burn, there are going to be Arc and Void shields, and it has the Raider shield modifier. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a full run on a hunter, but I'm going to try to make it as general as possible so you can use this video for any class. I will be going over my loadout here in just a moment, but before I do that, if you end up enjoying today's video, make sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well. Anyway, let's get to my loadout here. As I mentioned, I'm going to be running a hunter. I'm going to be using the Blade Barrage Super. You could try Arc Strider if you really wanted to. On a Titan, you could go Hammer of Soul, or you could go Thunder Crash. On a Warlock, you could go Dawnblade, Well of Radiance, or you could use Chaos Reach. Now for my grenade here, I am using the Fusion Grenade. My aspects don't matter all that much for this run, and my fragments, if you're interested, are Ember of Solace, Ember of Torches, and Ember of Searing. Moving on to my weapons, in my kinetic slot here, I have a Scout Rifle. This is going to be for Unstoppable champions. There aren't a whole heck of a lot of choices for Unstoppable champions this season. It's either a Scout Rifle or an exotic with intrinsic Unstoppable rounds. Then in my energy slot, I have the Hollow Denial Void Trace Rifle, which was introduced this season. It's the second legendary trace rifle, and I'm using it primarily to destroy Void shields, but I'm also using it for Overload champions. Finally, in my heavy slot, I'm using the Thunderlord Exotic Machine Gun, and this does arc damage, which is going to be boosted by 50% because of Arc Burn. Not only that, but machine guns got a pretty hefty buff this season of 40% in PvE activities. So this one is going to be pretty great in a lost sector that has quite a few enemies throughout. It's decent at clearing out small groups of enemies. Of course, in terms of heavy weapons, you could swap this out for pretty much anything. I highly recommend using arc damage. Instead of a trace rifle, you could of course use a submachine gun or an auto rifle for Overload champions. Overall, there's a lot of freedom in your weapon choice for this lost sector. The problem is there's just so many enemies, so you want to pick something that's good at ad clear, and I thought a trace rifle and a machine gun would do well at that. Before I get into my armor mods, I just want to mention it doesn't really matter what exotic armor you use, they should all do a fairly decent job depending on whatever your favorite one is. I don't think there's any particular exotic armor piece that's necessary for this Legend Lost sector. Anyway, I'm going to quickly show you each piece of armor so you can see my armor mods. If you need to see anything in more detail, just pause the video. Alright, that is it for my loadout. Now, let's get into the run. Alright, so right at the beginning here, we are going to have several enemies that we have to take out. That's part of the reason why this lost sector takes so long, is because you have to take pretty much every enemy out before you can move on to the next area. For this particular Legend Lost sector, you are going to want to have some sort of void weaponry, because the raiders are going to have void shields, as you can see right there. Just clear out the room, take out the raiders with their void shields. There is going to be an Overload champion eventually. You're also going to want to watch out for any grenades that may fly in. Alright, let's finish clearing the area out. And on we go to the next room. Alright, so this is where Thunderlord may come in pretty handy. Thunderlord is a pretty solid option, especially when there's a lot of enemies in one area, especially since it got that buff this season. Let's go ahead and stun that champion. Gonna have to reload here. Want to get out of the sight line of that champion now. Alright. I suppose I can go ahead and start capturing this plate. Just going to kind of sit back here a little bit on the plate and make sure that I'm paying attention to any enemies that are kind of firing on me. I know there's a few above me. Alright, let's reload Thunderlord quick. Alright. Get that unstoppable champion. I am on a hunter, so I can use the gunpowder gamble there. If you don't have that, just go ahead and use your heavy ammo. So there's just a lot of enemies in this particular lost sector. I'm going to capture that first plate and then kind of clear out the area a little bit. I saw some heavy ammo back there. I'll come back for that. Take out the arc shield. Be prepared for the enemies that are spawning. I'm going to back away a little bit again. Looks like we have an arc shield again. Alright, clear this out. Yeah, it's just the sheer amount of enemies here. You're going to want to hop off the plates and kind of take care of them every once in a while, especially if your resilience is low now, since that gives a pretty hefty damage reduction. I may end up dying right here. I guess I'll start capturing this plate since I ended up over here anyway, and I'm going to have to capture it anyway in the long run. Unfortunately, I'm out of ammo there, but I did get the plate captured. Alright, let's clear out the rest of these enemies. And Thunderlord is pretty good for group damage like that. Alright, all the plates are captured. I can technically move on now, which is what I'm going to do. Alright. Now, if you didn't see as we were approaching this area, there are going to be two champions that spawned. You can see they're both unstoppables up there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stun both of them and then pull out Thunderlord. And that was easy enough to take them out with Thunderlord. It's a pretty excellent weapon. Now you can see we do have an arc light bearer there. If you're on a Titan, you can use Hammer of Soul. If you're on a Warlock, you can use Well of Radiance or Dawn Blade, depending on if you'd rather use your weapons or your super. I'm going to go ahead and use Blade Barrage here. So I did a decent amount of damage, not a ton. But I'm going to finish it off with Thunderlord. Go ahead and finish the Ghost. Unfortunately, I can't finish the Ghost, so I'm going to have to wait. And actually take it out again. Unfortunately, the Ghost got stuck there. Hopefully that doesn't happen for you, but if it does, just be on the lookout for that situation. Watch out for the Cursed Thrall there. I would already be done with this lost sector had that not happened. It's unfortunate, but I will get the lost sector done. There we go. Hopefully the Ghost isn't stuck in the wall this time. We'll finish the Ghost. And I'll grab the chest. And there we have it. That is a platinum completion of the Extraction Legend Lost Sector in the Throne World. Again, I only showed you a run on a Hunter, but it should work just as well on a Titan or a Warlock, if not better. Especially for Warlocks, you can use a Healing Rift, and Titans you can use Sunspots. On either of those classes, you could also choose to use an arc subclass like Chaos Reach or Thunder Crash. I figured I'd use the run that you saw in this video because it does show that mistakes can happen every once in a while, and sometimes you just have to adapt, like when that ghost got stuck in the wall. Well, that does it. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll catch you on my next one.